Hi guys, welcome. I'm super excited that you guys could be on here tonight. For those who can't make it, they know that I always record them. I'm Tana Goulet, Presidential Diamond Leader, and here is wonderful Allison Stanley, also Presidential Diamond Leader with It Works. And, we've been friends for a while. We're sidelines, but we thought it would be great if we came together. And, I always love learning from other leaders, other teams, and I think it's just a great way for all of us to learn since we all do our business so differently. So the first part, we're going to talk about just like the newbies and the training and how we all get started, because honestly, we all start the same way. I had no idea what I was doing when I joined, like no idea. The girl who signed me up literally signed me up and that was it. So we're going to go over that. And then the next hour after that, if you guys want to stay on, we're going to go a little bit more in depth. And just go into more, really people who are really going for big ranks and really wanting this to be. I'm just gonna mute you guys. I'm gonna mute everybody, and it's not. There we go. Some people just don't mute. They just want to talk. That's okay. Anyway, so the next hour after that, if you want to stay on, please stay on. The more the merrier. And, I thought we'd first start off. Allison, I don't know if you want to start and share your story and how you got started, and then I can share mine.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, awesome.
Hi, guys. So I am Allison Stanley, and I have been with It Works since March of 2013. I was a restaurant manager, former It Works was a restaurant manager. I was kind of feeling that, a little bit burnt, but I wanted more in life, but I didn't really know how to do that. And I was actually introduced to It Works by a coworker. I actually walked out of the restaurant that same year, like 20 days before I signed with It Works, and started this other job. And literally 2 weeks in, my coworker presented me with It Works, and she was like, "I'm just trying this like wrap company. I'm doing a wrap party Thursday night. There's going to be wine. Do you want to come?" And I'm like, "Sure, I'll come. I'll have a glass of wine." So I went to the party, you guys, and I put a wrap on, and I was a total skeptic. So those of you guys that are on here, if you're a skeptic or you're just like, "I don't know if this will really work," I was that same person too. So you're totally not alone. And so it was funny is when I wrapped, you guys, I actually was the only person at the party that saw results. So the total skeptic, the one that wasn't going to wrap, I saw results. So we get back to work the next day, and she said, "Okay, do you want to become one of my first 4 customers?" And that's something that we're going to talk a little bit about tonight. And I said, "Sure, I'll get a box of wraps, $59. So I go to get a box of wraps, and then she says, "Or $40 more and you can become a distributor." And I thought, okay, why not? I'll just do that. So I was just trying to help her out any way that I could, because I saw this wrap worked, and I thought, why not? What do I have to lose, right? So I got started in the business. Just like Tanis, my upline signed me up, and that was about all she did. She ended up actually quitting 2 months into the business. And so I kind of had to figure out the ropes by myself. I was just like, not really sure what I'm doing. I was just, all I knew was I had to talk to people. And so if you're one of those people that are on right now that are like, what do I do? You want to start talking to people. You want to start opening your mouth and getting those first 4 customers. And that's so important to get your $100 shopping spree. So about 2 months into the business, promoted to executive, and I didn't even know I promoted, you guys, because I was just talking to people. I was signing people, talking to people, and I ended up having an upline reach out to me, like 3 uplines above me that said, "Hey, you're promoted to executive." And I'm like, "Okay, what's that?" And so I kind of just had my head down and working all I knew how to do. And then we promoted to Ruby that same 2 months later, and then I ended up finding out that we were pregnant with our first son. So that kind of changed the game of everything, because I never had any intention of being a stay-at-home mom. I never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I never wanted to work from home. So those were totally out of my thinking. And then it kind of had me start to spin my wheels a little bit in June of 2013, where I was kind of like, if this wrap business, worked, I could stay home, right? And so went throughout that summer, still just kind of talking to people, kind of get my feet wet into this business, and an event. And that's what I want to talk to you newbies about how fun events are. I went to an event that same year, and that, oh my gosh, this thing works. I related to stories on stage. I, related to so many people there. And it was a game changer. That next year, guys, I ended up having my son in January of 2014. And that's where I decided, you know what, I'm going to go all in with this business. I really wish I would have done it sooner. So that's something that I'll tell you, that don't wait for your kid. Don't wait for anything. Just do it now. We ended up promoting that year to Emerald and Diamond, $10,000 bonus. And then Double Diamond that same year getting a $15,000 bonus. And then 2 years later, we promoted to presidential. You guys have been able to quit my full-time job. We've been able to pay off all of our debt. We've done so many things that I never thought we would be able to do. And so it works as giving us a vehicle of not only freedom, but freedom of time and finances as well. You're going to hear my little... That's okay. And so one thing I will tell you that I love about this business is it's something that you won't find anywhere else. You find the friendships in this business. You can have the freedom in this business. You can have the fun in this business. So that's just a little bit about my story. I'll go into a little bit more afterwards, but I'll tell you that the work will meet you wherever you're at in your life. And that's exactly what it's done for us, as we are now pregnant with baby number 2 due in November. And so I'm excited because with Nixon, you guys, I worked all the way up till 6 months with him. And this time I don't have to. So I will be home the entire time with him. So just a little bit about mine.
That's awesome. Thanks, Allison. Can everyone please make sure they're muted? I've muted everyone from my end, but I still hear people. I never knew your story really, so that was cool. Thank you. I got started, my story is a little bit different. I was that lost, depressed mom. I was actually on mat leave at the time, and I didn't want to go back to my job. While I was on mat leave, I kept seeing people talk about this "it works" thing. I was very skeptical, but I just kept watching and watching. I didn't like or comment or message anyone. I just kind of kept watching, and I was really intrigued by it. I kept seeing, people making these bonuses and retiring their husbands and all this crazy stuff. I was like, this sounds so good to be true. So actually, while I was on mat leave, unfortunately, my husband lost his job. He did end up getting a job right after that. But, being on mat leave, if you're in Canada, you're on mat leave for a year, which sounds great, but it's tough if you're not making a big enough income, right? So we really struggled, and, my husband and I were fighting. We were just never getting ahead. So after mat leave, I was like, you know what? I'm not going back to work. And I was one of those people, I've always loved my jobs. I've always, gone all in whatever I've done, but I just wanted more for my family. I wanted more for myself. I wanted something I could be proud of. So I joined It Works. I didn't join with the girl who I had originally watched because I joined with someone, local here. And I just was like, okay, I'm just going to join. I had to make this work. So I remember my husband was out of town and I joined, and he's like, okay, whatever. He wasn't the supportive husband, and he just knew I was going to do it anyway, right? So he just really had no say. So I joined, and right away, like I said, my upline who had signed me up basically never really worked the business. So I was really eager to learn. I had no idea what I was doing, because most people don't know what they're doing when they join this type of business. I had no idea. So I had to learn. I wanted to learn from people who were successful. So I reached up to my upper uplines, and, they're like, you need to get to conference. And I literally had just joined. I was like a month into my business. I had my customers. I had like 4 or 5 customers. I went to conference. I couldn't afford it. Got on a plane, met other girls in a hotel room. We all stayed together, other It Works distributors that I didn't know. And I went to that conference, and I was blown away. They announced these bonuses. And the cool thing was I just saw everyone up on stage that was just like, just normal people, all walks of life, single moms, men, couples, just everybody, it didn't matter, young, old. I mean, I was so blown away. So I came home and I was just like, okay, I want to be Ambassador Diamond. If you don't know what Ambassador Diamond is, it's the highest rank in our company. After that, there's Black Diamond. But I was like, okay. And at this time, you guys, I had no idea, even how to get to executive. Like Allison was saying, she promoted and she had no idea. So I had no idea what I was doing, because no one had told me. And, you know, it is us as business owners to want to learn and plug in, but I just didn't know what I was doing. So I came home and I was like, okay, I need to get to diamond. I need to get that bonus, right? So I just kept learning as much as possible. Unfortunately, I had a head injury, and everybody told me to stop, and I had some negative people. But you know what? I just really, really wanted this for my family. You know, we've paid off all our debt now. You know, I retired my husband, and you know, I'm a top earner now. And it's not even about the financial part. It's the freedom part. Like Allison was saying, it's amazing that, you know, before I was, you know, always worried about if we had other children. We really couldn't afford stuff like that. So now if we do plan on growing our family, I know I don't need to worry about things like that. And, you know, we can go on vacations. I don't have to worry about at the grocery store how much I buy, just like little things like that. Right. So it's been an amazing, it's just been over 2.5 years, and it's been incredible. So, you know, the biggest thing with this business is, as I tell everybody, it's just learning, being excited, and just deciding what you're doing it for. A lot of people join for fun, you know, just to maybe cover their products, and maybe they just want to have fun with it. But a lot of people are joining because they have a strong why, because they need to make an income. Maybe they don't like their job. I have so many, you know, girls and guys on my team that really need the income, or, you know, they're really struggling. Because I was one of those people. Like, I was depressed. I was like, I felt like I was just working and working, waiting till my Friday to happen. And then, you know, there was always more bills than paychecks, right? So it was really like, I just knew I was worth more than that, right? And I wanted more for my family, especially when I became a mom. I just, you know, I needed more for my family, right? So that's a little bit about me. I tend to ramble on, so I don't want to ramble on too much, but we want to talk to you guys a little bit. The ones who are newbies on here, first of all, we're so excited for you. Don't feel overwhelmed. I've never seen anything like it ever last week. Last week was crazy. Like it was so crazy in a good way. We welcomed so many new people to It Works, on our teams, and it's been truly incredible. But the biggest thing now is just, we want to help everybody with their business, because like I said, there's going to be some people that join, and they're going to be really, you know, wanting to get to Presidential Diamond and Ambassador and really make a huge income for their family. And then there's some people who might just kind of be a little at their own pace, right? But the biggest thing that you want to do is get started and get those 4 loyal customers. So, Allison, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that, and then I can talk a little bit about we can kind of go back and forth, just about, I mean, what I did and what I teach my team. I mean, everybody is totally different how they work their business. That's what's so cool about what we do. I mean, so many people use social media. I mean, like Allison said, do not wait for your kit. Like, I literally joined you guys. I had never tried a wrap. I hadn't tried anything, and I was just so excited. I announced on Facebook right away. That's the biggest thing. Start telling people. Don't word vomit on people. That's another thing I did. I totally did that. I did things all the wrong way. I totally had no idea what I was doing, right? But the cool thing about this is you can make a lot of mistakes, because that's how you grow and that's how you learn. If you make one mistake and you're like, oh no, like that person, you know, isn't responding to me or doesn't want to buy from me, don't even worry about stuff like that. Because the cool thing about what we do is, I always tell people, I watched someone for a year. I didn't like her comment. I just kept watching her. She was excited. She was consistent. She was sharing her story. I really wanted what she had. I was happy for her, but I was like, I wanted that too. I'm always the type of person, I'm happy for everyone. I mean, we can all be super successful in this business. I'm happy for everybody. And the cool thing was that this girl, she basically had a similar story to mine. And she just decided to change her situation. And I knew if I didn't change my situation, nothing was going to change, right? So, Allison, I don't know if you want to share a little bit how you got started in the business, and then we can kind of go a little bit back and forth.
Yeah, that sounds good. A couple things that I wanted to tie into what you were saying about, like, you know, you're going to have, I'll tell you one thing, like, when you get started, who is that? If you're unmuted, mute yourself, please, please, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about knowing why you got started. I think that's something that's, after all the madness is over. Sorry guys, my dog's going crazy. It's okay. You're okay, honey. You're okay. So when you get started in this business, you get, the craziness of the $9.99, you guys. And I want you guys to know, those of you guys that joined the promotion, you are just a part of History That Works. And what's crazy is there was over 240,000 new people added to our team, added to It Works just in that week, you guys. And what I think about is like the growth of this is so crazy that, sorry guys.
That's okay.
Sorry.
We all have kids, we understand. And that's what's so cool about this business, right? We're like on like a meeting, learning, and we can have kids crying and screaming in the background.
I know. I'm like, well, at least anybody can do it. I got my kids screaming out and my dog barking. So know that, we're excited. You know, 99 promotion. Yeah, that's really bad background noise. The 999 promotion is over, right? So now you're in this business and now you're kind of thinking like, okay, now what? What do I do now? Number one thing that I would say for those of you guys that just joined, write down why you got started. Why do you want this to work? That is one thing that I did not do. And again, just like Janice, my upline just out on me. So I wish that I had somebody that, Janice, will you see if you can mute her?
Yeah. You guys can, I'm trying to mute everybody. Some people I just can't mute.
I don't know if you can mute her.
There we go.
You get it?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So that's one thing that I wish I would have done is wrote down why I got started. The why that you're going to hang on to that, you guys, throughout this business. And for me, again, Tanis has been in this 2.5 years. I've been in this 4.5 years, and my why has evolved and changed so many times throughout this business. When I first got started, I didn't know why I wanted to do this. 6 months in, I was like, okay, I'm pregnant. Maybe I can get a full-time income out of this. A year into it, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a stay-at-home mom now. Now I want to replace my full-time income. There's so many different stages of this business. And so number one thing is tonight, if you have not done already, write down, why did you join? When the person that messaged you or you messaged the person you joined with, why did you join with them? Why did you join? What sparked your interest? What got you excited? And I know for me, I was like, I just wanted that body wrap. I just wanted to try it. And that's kind of all I knew. But just like Tana said, that if you want this business to work, whether it's part-time, full-time, put money in your savings, pay off your debt, whatever it may be, you guys, It Works can provide that for you and your family or for your future kids, your future family, and I want you to realize that, again, no matter your experience prior to this, you can be successful in this. It doesn't take any sort of skill or type of person. You will learn as you earn. And something that I always say is fail your way to the top. And I know you're kind of thinking, why would she say that? You have to fail over and over and over and over again to be successful. I have heard no so many times, you guys. My own spouse, my own husband, who will be home any minute, thank God, he was not supportive for 2 years in this business, you guys. So if you have a spouse right now that you're either hiding this from or they have no idea yet, like I've been there with you. So know that you're not alone. But this right here, this community of people, either if you're on Tanis's downline or mine, we are here for you and we can relate to that. So we want you to reach out to us. We want you to know that we're here for you because we've been through this. Like, people are like, you don't understand what I'm going through. My spouse is saying that. I'm like, oh girl, I know. I know. Like, believe me, I would be hiding with my phone, in the corner, like trying not to make sure they knew I was on it. But so no support. I didn't have support from family and I didn't have support from my spouse. So as Tanis asked, how did you get your first 4 customers? I literally, you guys, sat down and I was like, okay, who did I used to work with? So I want you to start writing down a list of your coworkers, okay, or people you work with right now, your coworkers. Think about people in your life as like secretaries and teachers, and think about your neighbors. You guys, just a side note really quick, Saturday night, my neighbor who I've never met, which is terrible, like 5 floors down, she came over and brought me a Rodent and Fields, invite to her house. over this next weekend. She's like, hey, I'm doing coffee and crunch. And I'm thinking, God, you're brilliant. Why have I not done that for you? I'm over here like, oh, I'll meet her at some point. And she came right up to my door. And I was like, that's exactly what we do. This is networking. We talk to people. So get out and talk to people, whether you're doing this business, social media, face to face, start writing down a list. Something else is think about when you go to work, think about your hairstylist. Think about the stores that you go to. You know, really think about anybody, because when I first started, people want to help you. So they want to help you, but they want to help you know if you don't ask. Okay, so you've got to reach out and say, hey, you know, I just started this new business. I'm so excited, and I need 4 people to help me get started. I need 4 people to help me use these products. You know, would you be interested? You know, I thought about family, cousins, friends, aunts, anything. And guess what, you guys? All of my family that didn't support me, I said, great, can you give me the names of 3 people that would want to try these products? Referrals are awesome, you guys. But again, you've got to ask. If you're posting on social media, that's great, but posting is posting is not asking. And so you want to make sure that you ask.
That's awesome. And yeah, you know what, you guys, the biggest thing is when you join, the importance of getting those 4 customers is that's like your first goal. That's like our whole business is based on the steps to success. So, and it's a very duplicatable system, right? I mean, I'm not one of those people that signs up 100 people every month. I just don't. I do what I need to do, and then I help my team do the same. So I really work with my team that, you know, plugs in and really wants my help, but I still need to do my business too, right? So like Allison was saying, so your first goal is to get those 4 customers. I'll tell you right now, some people get their 4 customers in a couple days. It took me my full 30 days to get my 4 customers. And I was giving her, like I was hustling. Like I was like, you know what, I just thought I would put up a post on Facebook and everybody would just buy from me. But then I remembered I watched that girl for like over a year and I didn't, you know, say peep, right? So people want to see your passion. They want to see your excitement. They want to see why you're doing this. There's so many people on our team and they're like, oh, you know, nothing's really happening. And I'm like, okay, well, what are you doing? And they're like, oh, well, I haven't really done much. And I'm like, okay, well, that's probably why nothing's really happening, right? So I always say, if you are putting in the work, you are going to be rewarded. We get paid amazing. You know, I've never seen anything like it. But if I was just sitting back twiddling my thumbs, I wouldn't be getting huge paychecks, right? So to get those 4 customers is a huge deal, because not only are you getting that shopping spree, it's $100 US, which is about almost 140 Canadian for my Canadians. You can use that on, you know, product, you can use that on apparel and, you know, anything in the It Works store, which is really cool because they haven't always had this. And another cool thing about, you know, getting your 4 customers is you're set up for bonuses and, you know, fast start bonuses when you start building a team. I don't want to overwhelm everyone and explain what all that is, but basically every single distributor that signs up, that you have signed up, that comes into your team, once they get 2 customers in their first 30 days and they're over a certain amount of volume, which is 150 or running an auto ship, you're going to get $100 US. So it's 140 Canadian. Okay. So that's a big deal. It adds up. I mean, I know a lot of girls who sign up lots of distributors and teammates, and I mean, there's some times where my fast start bonuses pay my mortgage and our groceries for the month. It's huge. So once I started figuring out all these different things, incentives that the company has, you know, they want us to do well, right? And they pay us accordingly. So that's a really big thing, is you want to get those 4 customers. I mean, one was my parents right away. The second was a friend that I knew that had been, she's really into health and fitness, and she kept seeing my posts for a couple of weeks because, again, I was really consistent. I was talking on social media. I started doing parties right away and one-on-ones with people because I was eager, you guys. I really needed to make the income, and I was learning as much as possible and doing exactly what my uplines were telling me to do. If, you know, if my upline told me to do this, I would do it. I would listen to her because I knew what she was earning, and I knew she knew what she was talking about. So your first goal, to get those 4 customers and to be showing your passion, your excitement, and being consistent. If you're not consistent, people will not take you seriously. I'll say that right now. I haven't missed one day talking about my business. Even during hard times or things I've gone through, I'm still consistent with my business. I'm obsessed with my business. And if you're obsessed and you love it so much, you're going to do really, really well. But the people who are just doing it fun and are not consistent, they're not going to be paid like people who are treating it really seriously. It just makes sense, right? So getting those 4 customers, it's super, super important. Another thing I was going to say, like we were both saying, we all started with the same box, okay? I did not wait until my kit came because I was so excited. And I wanted to show that to everybody. If you're excited and you're talking about it to everybody, you're going to start doing well and you're going to start making money, but you're not going to be a millionaire in your first month, right? So I remember my first paycheck, and I started I think a week and a half into the month. My first paycheck was like $60, but I also had wrap cash, and I was really planting those seeds. Another thing that I really liked what Allison said is think about people that you want on your team. I thought about right away 5 people, because once you figure out how our compensation plan works, and again, I had no idea what our compensation plan was. I just started thinking of 5 people. I don't know why, just because I was eager to really get my business going. So it doesn't mean that all those 5 people joined. Some of them ignored me. Some of them watched to see how I was going to do. And you know what, even though I hadn't promoted or done anything yet in my business, I was telling people I was going diamond. I was telling people what this journey was going to do for me. So people want to join people where they see that they're going somewhere and they have a plan, right? They don't want to join people who aren't excited and maybe they're posting 1 week, they take 2 weeks off, they come back. Well, I'll tell you what, I've had a lot of people come to me and I ask them sometimes, why they've joined with me, and maybe because if I know that they're friends with someone else or who's a distributor, and they say, oh, because you're really excited and you talk about it all the time. And they say, I don't know if that person's even doing the business anymore. That happens all the time, all the time. Because if someone doesn't think they're doing the business anymore, they're probably not going to sign up with them, right? I know for me, I really wanted to sign up with someone and, have her help me. And it wasn't her fault. She didn't really know what she was doing, and she just does this for fun, and that's fine. But for me, I really want, and I want my team to feel the same way, and I know Allison does too, to know that they can come to us and you have that support. I mean, I have girls and guys who message me every single day. I have girls and guys who kind of like to do their own thing and, learn on their own. So everybody totally learns differently. But the biggest thing is just learning. Because I know there's some people who have been in, companies before. Alice and I both hadn't. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was really eager to learn because I really wanted to start making an income. So I love what Allison said is, figuring out why you joined this. That's the biggest thing. Because if you don't know why you joined, you're just kind of hum and haw, right? So, there's some people, new distributors that come in and maybe they don't know right away. Like Allison said, her why changed a lot, throughout the years, and she became a mom, and then, she didn't want to go back to work. And, so for me, my why is, I'm super excited, what I've done for my family, but I want everybody else on my team, their families, to have everything, and to go for all the dreams and goals that they have. And I always thought it was so corny when they would say fun, friendship, freedom. But I have met the most, I didn't know Allison before this. I mean, we met on a team page underneath our Black Diamond leader. And what's so cool about this business is I have sidelines who message me, people from other teams, and I will always help them because our company is truly like one team, one mission. And you know what? I like to always help people. So whether you're upline, if you're on here, you're either a newbie or maybe you're on with other newbies who have joined the team, and getting on calls and Zooms. And again, you don't have to do that. But the more you plug in, get to events, get on Zooms, and really learn from your upline, that's how you're going to do well in the business. It's really how you're going to do well.
Something that I was just thinking about, Tanis, what you were saying too about just plugging in and just putting the action steps in, you guys. That's one thing that, again, when we both got started, our uplines were just kind of like, see ya. But that didn't start for them. So that was one thing that I want you to realize, you know, when you got started, you started because of you. You know, you started because for whatever reason it was. And going back to what she said too about we all start this business for different reasons. And so, and I know a lot of you guys on here, some of you guys that have been in a while, is we all find different kinds of people. You know, not everybody is going to jump in 2 feet and want to run with this. You know, not everybody is on tonight's Zoom because they just simply don't want to. And that's okay, right? We have to realize the difference between fully who doesn't. And then you as the upline and you as a new distributor, you just keep putting one foot in front of the other and taking action. While your upline says they know what they're talking about, they've either been there or going through it too. And you're going to see that bigger picture vision through these Zooms and through getting to events. And that was one thing when I didn't know what I was doing, I always reached out and asked. I'm like, okay, now what do I do? And so the first things first is, you know, writing down what you want. And number 2, getting those first 4 customers. Once you've gotten those first 4 customers, then you'll go to the next thing. And I know for me, I was like, okay, what do I do? What do I do? So if that's you, awesome. If it's not, that's okay too. So realize that there's so much information out there. There's so many trainings. There's so many good things to read and plug into, but know that number 1 is your why you're doing this. And number 2, what do you want out of this? And number 2, those first 4 customers. That $100 shopping spree, you guys, when I first joined, it was $100, but we only could do product. Like, I think it is brilliant that, you know, our CEO chose business materials and gear, because I would have bought a shirt with that right away. I still have my first shirt, you guys. I wore the same Get Work shirt for a year.
Me too.
For a year. So I wanted to share something really quick too, as I was thinking about how, you know, you were saying it's your choice how much you want to put into this, and is whatever you put in is what you're going to get out. You know, the first year of this business, you guys, I worked this business maybe 2 days a week, if not 3, just kind of here and there sparingly. I didn't, again, do it so much to quit my job or the full time. I just was dabbling in it and kind of wanted to just do it part-time. That's okay. But my paychecks were anywhere from $200 to $300. You know, could that replace my full-time income? No. You know, could that replace a part-time income? No. It was just more so that fun money. It was that grocery money, that gas money. That's great. If that's what you want, that nail money, do it. Do that for you. But what I quickly realized, you guys, is that this business gave me options and freedoms that my job didn't. And I was that person that was like, I am not quitting my job. Don't even talk to me about that. I have no intention of doing that. And so you guys are on here right now listening to us and you're like, I'm not going to be where you are. I'm never going to be a presidential. I'm not. Believe me, I was that person too on the Zoom. So I get it. And what you don't know is you just don't know yet, right? So continue to learn, continue to show up, continue to plug in. If there's a Zoom available, get on it. If there's a call available, get on it. You will see experience success. I've had my check double, triple, quadruple in 1 month just by putting in those little action steps. But again, start small, writing down those small goals and then meeting them, you know. And I remember my first check was $130, but it was because I just was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know these products work because I tried the wrap. And that's literally
awesome. That's a good first check. That's really good.
You don't need to say like, I know, and I'm like, how did I not get over like $300 the first year? But my first check was, but you know, you don't have to have anything fancy, you guys. You don't have to have all this knowledge. You don't have to be great on social media or great face to face. You just got to be excited. You just got to be excited. You just got to share your story. And if you have not already shared on your social media why you started this business, I want to challenge you to do that tonight. For me, with my leaders and myself, I'm constantly trying to share my story and why I joined, because again, there's so many people watching you that you have no idea. Just like Candace, girl for a whole year. I have people that just joined with this $9.99 promotion, you guys, who have watched me the past 3 stinking years. And I'm like, it's about time, right? And, you know, the timing is everything. It's everybody's right time when it's their right time. So don't ever give up on anybody because they're always watching you. And number 2, just know that the consistency factor is so huge. Whether you've been in this business for 2 days, 2 months, years, people are always watching. Your consistency is important. Whether you feel like it or not, do it. If you show up, you're going to go up, and I can promise you that.
I love that. And it's so true. Sorry, I was just muting one other person over here on the other page. I don't know why it doesn't mute everybody, but it's so true because, you know, what you put in, you really get out of it. And, you know, like Allison said, her first year, she was still working. She didn't really, you know, she was happy with that little extra money, right? And hey, $200 to $300 a month is great money. That's great, but you can't quit your job with that, right? For me, I really had to make it happen. Like my husband, you guys, he was like, well, why aren't you making money yet? Why aren't you making money yet? Like in my first month. And I was like, okay, with any successful business, it takes time. So I remember right before I was going double diamond, we were sitting in a restaurant and I was on my phone and my husband was all over me. He's like, get off your phone. He was not very happy. And I said, listen, I'm going to change our lives. I'm getting a huge bonus this month and you can just stick it. I wasn't very nice. I wasn't very nice. And you know what? I made it happen because I'm the type of person, if someone says no to me or if someone doesn't believe in me, because you're going to have negative people. I promise you that. And you know what? There are people, for me, it hurts sometimes, right? When you maybe don't have a friend or someone support you or someone says something negative, it does hurt, right? And I personally, I'm always the type, I support all my friends. I go to parties, I buy things from my friends and support them just because I'm happy for them, right? I've had friends join other companies and we support each other. But there are going to be people who are negative. And I want you guys to know that because, to get to the top, you're going to go through things, right? We are business owners, but you're never by yourself. That's why another thing why I love, Alice and I were chatting earlier and we were just, chatting back and forth. I love, the friendships I've made and just people I can talk to, you can complain about your spouse or talk about your kids or complain about your job, right? And it's just because we all go through something. I know I've gone through a lot personally this year. With family and health, but it's also been the most amazing in my business because I poured all my energy into that because I'm in love with my business. So, and I love what Allison said, don't give up on people because, people watch. People want to see your excitement. They want to know your why. They want to know, they have no idea when you start posting, they're not just going to all message you. I mean, would it be great if they all just messaged you and wanted to join and buy stuff, but that doesn't happen, right? They want to see what's going on. People watch. People are going to watch and watch and watch. So think about how long you watch the person that you joined. Like I said, it took me a year. A lot of my customers, they all end up joining as distributors because I really grow that relationship with them. They're loving the product. I'm following up with them. I have bought so many products and stuff from friends and they don't even message me and ask me how I like the product. They just kind of forget about me. And I'm not mad about it, but the more you're connecting and really learning and, really wanting to get those friendships and, show how you care for people, this business is all a relationship business. It's being excited. It's showing your passion and just, wanting to help people, we don't have to make it difficult because it's not hard what we do. I'm not going to say it's easy and it's simple and it's rainbows and butterflies, but it's really fun when you find out what works for you. So maybe you like to do social media. So if you're going to do social media, you want to go all in. If you're going to do one-on-ones and do parties and vendors, you want to go all in, right? So I like what Allison said, everybody joins us for different reasons. And for me, if you're going to go all in, you should really go all in or all out. Because if you really want to make a big income, it's not going to happen by just doing it when you feel like it. I know we all have hard days and we all go through things, but if we only worked our business when we felt like it, I know Allison and I wouldn't be where we are, right? So to me, it's crazy. And I always share what this has done for my family because I was that person. We really struggled. I tell people, I earn more in 1 month than it took me an entire year at my old job. I tell people that what this has done because people need that. We all are suffering in some kind of way. We all have stuff going on. We all have, whether it's health, physical, mental, maybe we've lost someone, maybe we're going through a hard time and we really, really need this for ourselves, right? So everybody has something going on. So when you're a friend to people and you really care about people, you're going to do really, really well in this business, but you have to be able to learn. You have to be coachable. Like if you, you know, there's some people on my team, I'll message them and they don't even respond to me, and you know, that's okay. But then I have girls who message me every single day, and guys too, and they really want to learn and they want my help. And those are the people who are going to do really well. You know, so there's going to be people who join and they go all the way to the top, and then there's people who join and they might not even open their starter kit. So I like to compare this to a gym membership, because you get a business in a box like the gym membership. You can get a gym membership and go every day and, you know, work out and it can be all great. Or you can get a gym membership like I've done and not go. So I've done that. But with my business, I love my business so much, and I've committed to it since day one because I really needed it. And back to my why, I wanted this for my family. You know, we were really struggling. So when you find your why and you really, really need this, you can do so well. You can surpass Allison and I, right? You can go to Black Diamond, which is, when you guys find out what Black Diamond is, it's crazy. So anybody can do this. It's just not everybody will put in the time and treat it like a business. So that's the one thing that I like what Allison said. What you put into it, you're going to get out of it, right? I mean, wouldn't it be great if we spent one day a week and then we got these huge paychecks at the end of the month? Well, anything that's worth having and worth, you know, getting in life is going to require work, right? So, and then you feel so, you know, accomplished when you get there. I know every single promotion that I've had in the business, I'm proud of myself, but I like to keep going. I want it for my team. When my team promotes, that makes me really happy because, you know, Allison and I were both at a part in our business. You know, we're doing really well, but it's exciting to see all our up and coming leaders. I mean, I've had people who've joined and, you know, they promote really quickly and, you know, and then everybody's journey is different. So that's another thing. Do not compare yourself to someone else because everybody is going through different things. You know, health, family, jobs, maybe something else they're going through in their life. So don't compare yourself to Sally. If Sally's promoting really quickly, just focus on what you're doing, because I know it happens, right, where we compare ourselves and, you know, but the biggest thing is this is your business. Your upline is there to help you. So whether I'm your upline, Allison's your upline, you know, I'm excited. I think Allison and I are going to do more Zooms together. It's fun. You know, it's always fun learning from different teams and, you know, asking questions, you know, with different leaders. And, you know, it's cool. I want everyone to do well. Like this, what we have here is so special. I've never seen anything like it. You're part of a family, you know. I mean, it sounds kind of corny, the whole friendship, fun, freedom, but it truly is, right? You know, being on Zooms now with our CEO and he knows who we are, and it's just, it's really special, you know? So you're a part of an amazing culture, an amazing company, and what we have going on right now, like, honestly, I don't think we're like any other company, you know? Allison, don't you agree? Like,
yeah, and one thing I was going to say too with that you mentioned with corporate is that one thing I love about It Works, you guys, if you don't know much about the culture, the company, or corporate yet, is, you know, we've been in business for over 16 years now, and we are a debt-free company. So I am very proud to say that, in a sense that, you know, we're a family-owned, debt-free company, and our corporate team and especially our CEO is all about giving back to us. And a lot of times people are like, why is the business kit so cheap? Why is this so cheap? You know, and my best response, and if you guys are wondering too, and especially this week with the promotion of $59 instead of $99, because we can. It's because we can. And, you know, our company it's crazy what's coming up, you guys. And even today we were on a Zoom and Janice was on there. It was for triples and above. And our CEO is like, you guys were already planning August. And I love it because they're always one step ahead of us. So if there's one thing that I can tell you right now is number one, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Like Tana said, you have somebody here to help you every step of the way, whether it's your upline, your team, your sidelines, your downline. You've got someone here rooting you on, cheering you on, and wanting to help you be successful. Number two is you have an amazing corporate team backing you up. They are here for you. They want to see you succeed. And I've never been a part of something like that. I've always, especially in, you know, corporate world where it's like, well, I'll be the one to succeed and you guys all work for me, you know? And so I love what we do because even those you guys that have been in this business maybe a couple days or maybe a week, you can ask either one of us at any time. And I love that. I love when you get the hungry go-getter people in that are like, okay, what do I do next? Okay, what do I do next? What do I do next? And I'm like, I love it, because then it challenges me as a leader in an upline, as I'm like, all right, game on. I love that. I love when someone's hungry and someone wants more. But you know what? When somebody comes to me and they're like, you know what? I work full time. I work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. I can relate to that too, because I did. I was in that world too. So, and it's one of these businesses, you guys, where anybody can fit the mold of it works. Whether, again, you're a mom, a dad, single, family, hired, you can do this. And so you just have got to believe in yourself and utilize the resources that you have in front of you, utilize your upline. But again, you just got to take action. Number one, you just got to take action. As a lot of you are probably thinking, well, I'm joined, and now what? We've just given it to you. Writing down your why and going after your first 4 customers. If you've already got your first 4 customers, then get upline and ask them, okay, what do I do now? And that's going to be starting to build your team. And I've got some people on here tonight that I'm even looking at that, they've been in business for a while, and then all of a sudden something just clicked for them. But what it was is that belief factor in themselves that they could do this. And, again, with It Works, kind of like Janice was saying, like the cheesy, corny, like, we're in this together, friendship's fun and freedom. We don't just say that to say that, you guys. I mean, you don't compete with each other, you complete each other. You're constantly trying to help each other. You're constantly trying to do this together. And I've never been in a workforce or even a part of a team where you work together 110%. Where if I have something that's working, I'll share it with Tanis. If Tanis has something, she'd share it with me. And so nothing is a hidden secret. There's no freaking secret sauce. I will tell you that right now, besides take action. Listen and take action and be coachable. Because if you want to see, feel, and experience success, you're going to be coachable and you're going to do it. And again, I was in your shoes where I was a skeptic. I did it kind of here and there. And then I've also been the one that's been all in. And I've been all in for almost 3 years now. So I can tell you that I've been on both sides of that fence. And I can tell you it's a lot more fun on the all-in side, because you get to experience a lot more success and be able to reap a lot more of the benefits. Really quick about the following up thing that I wanted to share with Janice was mentioning about, people are always watching, and how we were talking about earlier, not giving up on people. You guys, it typically takes 7 to 12 messages to somebody before they respond or even say anything or even say a yes. So I want you to kind of take a look at your messages. If you've talked to a person one time and they haven't said yes or they haven't responded, you know what? That's okay. Message them again. I have people that I have messaged probably 30, 40, 50 times and they still haven't said anything. But I know they're watching. I know they're watching me. And I'm so passionate about what I do, just like how Tanis was saying, she loves what she does. I'm passionate about what I do. I'm excited about what I do. And I'm even more excited about where our team is going and this company is going. And so I'm going to share that with people. I'm confident in these products because they work. Even before I was pregnant, I took all the products, and now I'm pregnant, I still take all the products. So we have literally, it doesn't matter where you're at in your life, your physical activity, whatever, the products work if you use them. This business works if you work it. So you want to work this business like a business, it'll pay you like a business. If you want to work it like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. So you decide. You take a look at that income scale tonight and you decide, do I want hobby money? Do I want $100, $200, $300? That's fine. If that's what you want, that's great. But decide that. Decide that tonight and stick with that. If you'd rather have $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month, then get with your upline and say, okay, let's get a game plan and this is what I need to do. But know that you got to know where you're going. Okay. Know where you're going. Know what you want. And get your upline on board, get your team on board. Those of you guys that are brand new and you've signed 4, 5, 6 people, kudos to you. That's awesome for running right out of the gate, utilizing this $9.99 promotion. But now it's time to utilize and make some money, right? So, another thing is when you're talking to loyals, find out their budget, you guys. That's one thing that I will say that I made that kind of mistake at the beginning is I just put them on whatever product because I didn't know what I was doing or talking about. Find out, say, okay, Tanis, you're looking to lose weight. Great. So what's your budget? What are you at? And find out a little bit about them as you're assigning them, because I can promise you, number one, it'll raise your check. If you get them on the right product, they will stick for a loyal for life. But again, they will also your loyals will turn into some of your best contributors as well.
I love that. And you know what? Ask them their goals and, everything, because like I said, most of my customers turn into team members. just because, I don't chase people, but like Allison said, I really put out what I want back. So, your vibe attracts your tribe. Is that what it is? Yeah. So if you're putting out your excitement and you're a runner and you're telling people where you're going, you're going to get like-minded people, right? If those people that you scroll through on Facebook, I have to unfollow some people because I can't handle the negativity. And we all have bad days, but I don't need to post I only post good things on Facebook. I don't need to post that I had a crappy day or something, right? Because our social media is our platform. It's your business. People are watching you. So if you're going to be negative or say something, it reflects on you, and you can offend people. Especially when you talk about certain topics. So I try and keep my social media, only talk about, good things, the business, your life, and, your social media. And if you're new and you're just learning social media, that's okay. But there's so much you can learn. So, just keep it super positive, because you want to keep your business positive, obviously, right? You don't want to have negativity and any of that stuff on your Facebook, right? So does anyone have any questions right now about anything that we've gone over? I really liked what Allison said, about, what you do, you're taking action is going to reflect on your paycheck. Make the decision what you want. If you're just doing it for fun, that is great, right? And your leader and, your team can help you. But if you're really wanting to, go up high in the ranks, really connect with your leader, because we do want to help you. But, like Allison said, the only person who really knows what they want is you, right? So decide what you want, why you're doing this, and you can be super successful, or just have that fun money, which is great too. I have some of my closest friends, sidelines too, people that are not even on my team, like Allison said, that are closest friends, if you need to vent to someone, I like to go to one of my sidelines who I'm friends with and said, I don't want to, vent to anyone and, make their day bad. Right. So, but, just everybody's going through different things, and, this business is so great because anybody can do it. If you can talk to people and and you really want to learn and grow, this business is for you. So we're really excited for you guys. Don't feel overwhelmed, because we're still learning, right? I mean, I'm still learning stuff about myself, and, I've become very, very strong in this business because you have to kind of not let things bother you. We're all human, of course, and we're all, we can be emotional, right? But the cool thing about this business is there's a lot of personal development. You're really growing as a person. We like to say it's, basically personal development with a compensation plan, right? So when I joined this business, again, honestly, the only reason I joined was because I kept seeing this girl talk about how great it was. So, it could have been someone else talking about something else, right? But I was really intrigued by the product. I was really intrigued about, we're in so many countries now and growing. We always bring out new products. And like what Allison said, corporate wants us to do well, so, it's really, and they pay us very, very well based on what we put in. So I hope that helped you guys tonight. I know it's almost 9:00 here. Does anyone have any other questions? And then we were going to go in, anyone that needs to leave, we just wanted to do our first hour kind of like a newbie getting started, and how to get going your business. And then the next hour, we're going to talk more in depth about the business. That's more for people who have maybe been in the business for a while, or newbies. You're welcome to stay. But does anybody have any questions? Because I do like to talk, because I'll keep talking.
I'd like to say something.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Tara.
Hi. I'll be quick, I promise.
Okay.
I know there's a lot of new people on, but the reason why I do want to say this is because when people go back and listen to this that are not on the call, Tanis had uploaded, I'm sure most of you maybe have seen, but if you go to the Diamond training page, she uploaded a lot of training documents, including parties too as well, post ideas and everything. If you go to the top right-hand side and click info, and then scroll down to files, every single file that she uploaded is there for you guys to look at.
Awesome, Tara. Thank you. And another thing with Tara is just saying, if you guys don't, this happened to me all the time in the beginning. Someone would ask me about a product. Even I'd post about something I had no idea about. And I would just be like, I didn't want to say to the person, oh, I don't know anything about this product. Do you want to buy it for me? I would be like, oh, you know what? I'm just getting home. I'll message you in a bit. Then I'd go ask my team page or, one of my leaders and ask them about it. Or I'd go learn about the product and then message the person. So don't feel like you need to know about everything. I'm one of those people, I don't need to learn about every single thing before I start talking about it. Some people are like that, and that's fine. But most of the time, people just want to know if it works. And we know our products work, right? Because it's called It Works, right? So don't feel like you need to know everything, because a lot of us had no idea what we're doing when we started. We had no idea. We all started the same way. So, you're no different from Allison and I. We've just been doing this longer, and we've, learned what we needed to do to be successful. So I hope that helped you guys. And if you have any questions, or if you want to stay on, Allison, I don't know if you have anything else you want to say.
Something really quick that I was just going to add before we finish this one up is, again, you don't need to know every product, know every ingredient. I still don't. I am so far from green, it's not even funny.
Yeah, me too.
I know these products work because I love them and I use them. But again, I didn't use every product when I first got started. I tried that one body wrap and it worked. And that's what I talk to people about. And though you guys are getting 4 wraps in your kit, so slap on that body wrap on you and see what it does for you, So, and the same thing with the business side. I got this question all the time, like 1-2 weeks in the business. So how much money do you make? And it doesn't matter. You're not going to make millions overnight. You're not going to make thousands overnight. That's okay. What I did is I said, this is my goal. This is what I'm going after. I'm going after $500 a month. Would you like to do this with me? My upline this is where my upline's at. This is where they're at. I know this business works because we follow 3 simple steps. This is where I'm going. So don't feel like you have to know everything. Again, like I talked about earlier, you're going to learn as you earn. Just the main goal is writing down that why you joined, going after those 4 customers, and staying plugged into your upline, your team page. I know Tanis has one. I have one. And just you decide what you want out of this. You can determine your piece of the pie with It Works. If you want it to be full-time, or you want it to be part-time, or just some fun money, you get to decide that. So decide that and take action.
That's awesome. And one more thing, if you're trying to close a customer or a team member and you're not sure what to say, ask for help. That's one thing I love doing. I love talking, to potentials, people on my team. Maybe they need help closing someone. And sometimes they just want to talk to someone who's maybe been in the business longer and someone they don't know. That's one thing I really love doing. Especially, they can talk to you about, I have some people who I don't know at all. So they can ask me anything. They don't feel, maybe they don't want to ask their friends certain things, right? But it's okay. I actually find it funny sometimes when people ask me what my paychecks are. I understand why they're asking. I personally don't ask people what their paychecks are at their jobs, but I understand why people ask that, because they want to know the potential in this, right? If I told everybody I was making $100 a year, they probably wouldn't be very excited about it, right? But I talk about the income, never to brag. And those who know me know I'm not like that anyway, right? But I talk about it because that's what the girl did who I kept watching. And it really sparked interest to me, because I'm a very, if I know the potential in something and I know it can change, my family's life, other people's lives, if she said she was making $100 a year, I probably would have kept scrolling, right? But she was talking about the bonuses, and she was talking about what it was doing for her family, And if you're not there yet, that's okay, because a lot of us, like Allison said, we all started the same way. Allison had a good first paycheck. Mine was half that, not even half that. So, but it doesn't matter, right? Your journey is your journey. And the biggest thing is just learning in this business, because I do have some girls and guys that have come from other companies and businesses, and sometimes they already know certain things. But for me, I was clueless, totally clueless on what to do. So be coachable, ask questions. If you are having a problem maybe closing customers or distributors, maybe you're saying too much. I know that was me. I was totally word vomit on people. I was like telling them, they'd ask me a question, I'd write like a whole paragraph. Like, oh my gosh, right? And, now I like to voice message, be excited and keep it short and sweet. Get them to keep asking questions, because if you give them all the information, they don't have to respond to you. But if you answer them short and sweet, they're going to keep asking you questions. you're going to keep the conversation going back and forth. And if someone doesn't reply to you, maybe they're just busy. Like, that's why you need to follow up. Sometimes I forget to message someone back, or one of my girls or something, and then I'm like, oh shoot, and then I'll message them back when I realize. But some people are busy, they have kids, or they have lives, they have jobs, right? So don't feel bad. Be bold with this. If you're really bold and eager and you really want to get, like I said, those 4 customers, getting those 4 customers is setting you up in your business. You're going to get your shopping spree. You're going to start making commissions. You can get those fast start bonuses when you start having team members join, right? So getting those 4 customers and just starting to learn, that should be your goal this month. And don't be overwhelmed, because I know it's crazy right now. Our team pages, like, I'm sure Allison's, there's so many new people and it's exciting, right? So we're all learning together. So just ask questions, be a part of things, and really know why you're doing this. So that was fun, you guys.
Awesome. Thank you for all of that. That was awesome. So what we're going to kind of do, you guys, we're going to kind of transition to more of a in-depth, talking a little bit more about goal setting, kind of vision casting, leadership type stuff. So if you are still on here as a new distributor, just know it's going to be a little bit more in depth. So feel free to hop off if you're like, I am not ready for any of that. And if it's just going to overwhelm you, if you want to stay on, feel free to stay on. I can already see a lot of experienced people on here. So perfect. So a couple things that I'm kind of thinking off the top of my head, Tanis, that I kind of wanted to ask you is, I know that this year has been a huge year for you and your team, but you've also had, a lot of life happen. And that's one thing in this business, as, experienced distributors and leaders, and as you climb the ranks, you do experience a lot of life. And I know for myself, I have too. And so, and I feel like everybody at some point in this business will experience life. And it's just almost a matter of when it happens. It's, how do you handle it? How do you continue working your business? How do you continue, experiencing success? So I want to kind of know from you really quick is, you've had one of your best years and your team went from, was it top 40 to top 25? What was it?
Yeah.
Okay. And what, how long was that? A month, 2 months?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And it's crazy. It's crazy what can happen when your team starts taking off, and you could be a new distributor and sign up a rock star tomorrow, right? That's what I love so much about this business. And I think another great thing that was so great about our promotion last week is that, we have all this new blood coming in, right? Focus on those people who really want it, like Allison said, I had a really rough year, with just my parents and being ill and myself going through some things. But, people either, I think, let it affect them. I mean, we're all human, right? I mean, of course it affects me. I have my days where I cry, and right, we're human, right? And I'm totally open with that. I will tell you, I struggle with things, but, at the end of the day, my why I do this, right? I'm a very motivated person. I know what this has done for my family, and I just keep pushing forward because I'm very competitive with myself. I know what I want, and, there's going to be people in the business who quit. It happens all the time. It's funny, when I got to Diamond, Allison, you don't know this, I literally got to Diamond and my team fell apart. I had girls who could have been the biggest rock stars. They had a bad week and they quit. They just were going through life stuff or fights with their spouse or whatever, and they just quit. And I had to really dig down deep and talk to my presidential, upline. And, I still was new in the business because I went Diamond 3.5, 4 months in. So I really was learning what the business was all about. And then I was like, oh, wait, I'm like a leader now and I have no idea what I'm doing, right? So I went through a part where it was August 2 years ago. And I literally thought, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I literally had a little mini breakdown. I was like, people are quitting, because I didn't realize, I thought it was something that I was doing, right? And I talked to my upline. She's like, oh, Tanis, people quit all the time. And I was like, oh, okay. That made me feel good, because not everybody's going to come in and want this. And I mean, I wish every single person that we signed up wanted to be a Diamond and up. Wouldn't that be great? But there's people who join and they just don't want to put in the work. They just don't, so I know you don't really ask me about that, but I know you're asking me, how did I, keep going forward, but, for me, if you really, really want something and you're really gonna put in the work to make it happen, this business is like my life. Like, it gives me life too. It's, I'm obsessed with it, because I have done well. It has changed my family's life, and I just pour into it every single day because I love it so much. So, it's crazy that the top people all the time change, except maybe the top five or so, right? But there's people who have joined in the past year or so, and they're in the top earners too, right? So what's so cool about this business is it's not a competition. It's really not. I'm competitive with myself, nobody else. And that's what it really should be for everybody. Don't compare yourself. Don't let things get in your head, because we're all been there. Personal development is key, like key. And I'm not going to say I sit and read a whole bunch of books, because I wish I could. I mean, I can read. I don't mean I can't read. But I don't make the time for it. I'm more of a person, I like to listen or watch videos. But if you're really putting in the personal development and you're really wanting to learn and grow, honestly, you can accomplish anything with this business. You really can.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? I think personal development was definitely one thing for me too. I will say that was a big game changer early on in my business, and I didn't realize how important it was until I started doing it. And then I started, really developing that belief and really developing that, understanding the business and understanding this industry and understanding that, as a leader, it's my role to set the example and keep moving and keep working. And people are either going to come with you or they're not.
Yeah.
And I was the same way, Tanis, that, I built to diamond, and then I went double with completely different people, then completely different people. Presidential, a month later after triple,
wow.
minus 2 people. So honestly, every promotion, that's one thing I will say as leaders, those of you guys on here, people that got you to where you are not going to get you the next position. It's these 999 people that are going to get you that next position, which gets me excited, because it's all this new blood, this new excitement, this new leadership of people coming in, and it's your job to mentor them and help them, but it's also your job to keep working. Your job to lead by example, your job to keep taking action, your job to say, you know what? I'm here for you, but I still got to work my business. And I had points in my business where I was in that management mode, and points in my business where I was like, okay, do this, and this. But then I didn't work. But I was trying to figure out kind of that balance of how do I do both, right? So, Tanis, what would you say was kind of your biggest game changer in your business from going, you skyrocketed, your team has exploded this year. What would you say your biggest game changer was, like, for your team? Was it like the vision casting? Was it people taking more action? Was it leaders stepping up? What was the biggest game changer you would say for you and your downline?
I'll always say, if you want runners, you have to be a runner yourself. Nobody knew when I went diamond that my team, I didn't show it to anybody. I mean, I've told my team and everything now, but at the time I wasn't like, oh, my team sucks. And, I wasn't saying stuff like that, because I was like, I need to keep going forward. I kept maintaining diamond, but it was hard. Like, I was putting in so much work, and I look back on that first year, and I really learned and growed as a person. And I mean, my husband, my family were like, Tanis, maybe you should go, like, maybe this, like, it's not that they didn't believe in me. They just saw how it was affecting me, that I wanted to keep going. Right. And, you're going to go through hard times. And you know what, for me, I just wanted it so bad. I just kept running. And then I got those runners who saw the vision too, because I just kept going, and whether whether you have people who are growing, I have lots of girls who join this and they're happy being at diamond, and diamond's great. Don't get me wrong. But then I have girls who want it so bad. I mean, they talk about going black diamond, and I'm like, oh my gosh, right? But I think people join, and you either get them started and they either get it or they don't. There are going to be those people that maybe get it in 6 months. There are going to be those people that maybe need to see from experience. I mean, I'm always doing Zooms and parties. I tell my team, keep doing parties. Who cares if people don't show up? Keep doing them. When I went diamond, I just kept doing parties every single week. maybe even if I had 2 people who came to the party, I just kept doing them because your audience, your Facebook is watching you. I just kept putting out what I wanted back in my business, and then everything turned around for me. I know that there's people. I have a sideline friend actually, and we've talked to. She's almost double diamond, and she compared herself a lot. She said in her first 2 years in the business, and she said it really held her back. And I know people do that. And for me, I just kept focused on moving forward. And the people who wanted to move forward with me were either going to come with me or new people were going to join, because there's always new people joining. And this is our own business, right? There are going to be people who maybe don't get along or things happen. I know for me, I try and get along with everybody. I'm a fixer. I want everything to be nice and happy, and but you have to be tough in this business. It's okay being, I can be emotional and sensitive and, super helpful, but you have to be strong in this business because there are going to be things that hurt your feelings. There's going to be people who quit or delete you on Facebook or anything like that. But if you let it bother you, it almost comes out on everything else in your life. But if you really get strong and you realize that, hey, if people quit, or maybe you didn't maintain that rank, or maybe you didn't get to that promotion when you wanted it to happen, who cares? It's like one of my girls saying, if someone slashes one of your tires, are you going to slash the other 3, right? You're going to keep going forward if this is important to you. So honestly, Allison, we really needed this, and I just kept going. I attracted what I wanted. I never tell my team to do things unless I'm doing it myself. I think we all kind of have been in management mode. I definitely was when I first started. I had no idea what I was doing. I tried to start groups and chats, and I didn't know what I was doing because the girl who signed me up didn't really show me anything, which was actually a good thing because I learned on my own. But just realizing what you really want for your family. I mean, it's crazy how much your income and your life and everything can really change when you really, in a matter of from December to now, my paycheck has doubled, and it's not all about the money. It's definitely not. It's about helping those other people that are coming into your business and, who need this and, want this for their families, So I always say to people, lead from the front, be a runner if you want runners, tell yourself you're going ambassador. And it is really about vision, the vision and what you want. Because if you think you can do it, if you know you're going to do it, you're going to do it. If you don't think you can do it, you're not going to do it. So that's one thing that, always kind of stayed with me is, if you really want it and you believe that you can do it, you can do it. Get rid of negative people. I had to get rid of negative people in my life. One of them being my sister-in-law and my brother. I couldn't have the negativity. And I know other girls, there's some girls on here right now that, if there's relationships or people that are bringing you down, just get rid of them, because it affects you. I had friends that were like Debbie Downers and always complaining about their lives. And I was just like, oh my gosh, right? And then I started this and they thought it was a scam. And I was like, who are these people? I'm always happy for my friends. I don't know. I'm just that type of person. Maybe they've opened a restaurant or opened a gym or something. I'm the type of person, I like seeing other people succeed. So put out really what you want, tell people where you're going. Maybe you've just started, or maybe you're at a part in your business where you're rebuilding, because I was totally there. And if you keep going, you're going to find that rock star, and they're going to catch the vision too. And that's basically what I did. I have girls in my business who said no to me, and I followed up with some of them for 6 months to a year. And,
sure?
They're both doing really, really well now, right? So
just trying to...
that. I'm going to mute.
This is my mother's milk tea anyway, but I have other kinds.
There. Sorry, Brittany, I muted you. But if you really decide what you want, you have a clear vision, a dream board, you guys. I thought it was so what? We're going to put together a dream board, but every single number or thing I decide that I want, and it's not all about the fancy things. It's not when I told myself I wanted this for a paycheck and that, and now, what I envision, I know I'm going to make it happen, because everything that you put out there will happen if you believe in it and you constantly take action and keep moving forward.
Yeah, exactly. And I think as a leader, you guys, we all, a lot of you guys that are on here are leaders right now, or have a team underneath you. And one thing to remember is that you don't start out, as a leader. You don't start out being like, okay, I know what I'm doing, I know where I'm headed, I know this or that. You've just got to keep putting one foot in front of the other, taking action, doing your personal development, plugging into events and Zooms, getting on the corporate calls, and then you telling your teams, hey, this Zoom's tonight at 7:00, I'm going to be on, are you? And obviously with our new distributors, we don't want to throw a whole bunch of things at them, but keep working, you keep moving, and then you keep helping them. One thing that I will say is anytime my business has struggled, anytime that it has ever struggled, it's been because of me. Every single time. It's my belief. It's my excitement. It's lack of work. And there's so many different things that go into that factor, you guys. And even if you're like, well, I'm posting, I'm doing this, it's not enough. It's not. And you've really got to reach out and, deliver the message. Hey, do you want to become a product tester for me? Hey, I'm looking for 3 people to join my team. I think you'd be awesome at this. Do you want to join my team? Or however you want to word it. But whatever you're going to do, stay focused in that one direction, whether that's social media, whether that's parties, whether that's one-on-ones. You've got to lead the way. You've got to be the one to lead by example, and then your team's going to follow. And I think honestly there's going to be days in this business where it just flat out sucks. I mean, I've been there. Just like Tana said, this business is fun, but this business, it's challenging. It challenges you in ways that you've never been challenged before. But you've got to realize and go back to why you started this. Why do you want this? Where are you going? And there is nothing and anything that I've ever been a part of that anything like it works. Because again, like I said earlier about an hour ago, is that this business will meet you wherever you're at in your life. Whether you're looking for the friendships, whether you're looking for the fun, whether you're looking for that freedom, it works will meet you where you are at. So and also I was going to say too, is with all these new people coming in, it's normal to feel overwhelmed. It's normal to feel like, oh my gosh, what do I do with all these people? Mm-hmm. It's normal to feel like, I don't even know where to go right now. I don't even know how to help these people. Reach out and ask for help, number one. Number two is get a game plan. Get a game plan for yourself of when are you going to work your business? When are you going to help your team? And how are you going to continue to keep growing? So with that being said, Tanis, how would you say maybe just like 1 or 2 tips on how to continue to keep this momentum and excitement going out of this $9.99 promotion, out of this $59 promotion? Because I know for some of us that we have our teams who are like, yes, I'm in, I'm excited, I'm all in. And then all of a sudden a week later, maybe Monday next week, they're out. So how would you continue to keep that excitement and that momentum rolling throughout this month?
Again, lead from the front. Be excited. I mean, like Allison said, there's days like, I wake up and I'm like, I get flustered. I mean, we're human, right? But the biggest thing is if you are showing your excitement, you keep working. I honestly do the same thing. Once I found out what worked for me, I just keep doing the same thing. I don't change what I do because you want to keep it simple. That's one thing. You don't want to overwhelm your new people. But at the same time, you're going to have those people that come in who, when I had a couple girls that came in, they're like, I want to go Ambassador Diamond. I was like, oh my God, right? So, you're going to have those people, but they're not going to catch the vision unless you are running yourself and you are really telling them what you want. I also tell my team lots, I tell them where we're going and I say, we're top 25, we're a top 10 team. No, I do lots of incentives. I do, and again, for me, I when Denise used to do like contests and stuff on the team page, that used to excite me. But again, we shouldn't always have to give people prizes and contests to do their business, right? You either want a big paycheck or you don't. I talked to some of my girls and they're like having a hard day and I'm like, well, have you done this or have you done this and stuff that I've maybe recommended them to do. And, they don't have to listen to me. I mean, we're nobody's bosses, right? But if something isn't working, you have to change it. That's one thing I will say all the time because, like Allison said, some days you're going to have a bad day, but you have to get out of that and keep moving forward. Maybe go take your dog for a walk or, turn off for the day and then, come back the next day and, do some personal development and really remember why you joined. Because the biggest thing, the people who are going to do really well are the people who have a really strong why. And if your why makes you cry, I forget who says that, I don't know, someone said that. But if it makes you cry and you're going to keep fighting for that, you're not going to quit. You're going to keep going. And I mean, there's girls who are double diamond and Triple Diamond that I know in the business sidelines, and they're doing extremely well. Not everybody has to get ambassador and, be on stage, right? It's not about that, but decide the plan that you want for your family or for yourself or your kids, and, just take action. I mean, it's not really hard what we do. It's finding what works for you and then just keep running with it. Because I know for me in my first year, I was doing parties, I was doing vendors, I was doing Facebook, Instagram, one-on-ones, because I really wanted to know what my niche was and, what I could excel at. And I love getting people on the phone. I love voice messaging people. I love to just, be a friend to people, because that's what people need. People need to know that they can trust you and that you're going to be there for them. I mean, there's a lot of people who join and I think that they're going to be in it, for the long haul. And then maybe it's not for them, or maybe I had a close friend who joined in the beginning with me and it just wasn't her thing. She cheers me on and she's super proud of me, but it just wasn't for her. She buys the product still, but, so not everybody is going to be excited for you. Not everybody, I know I've lost friends. I know Jay made a post last week about, retiring and stuff. I had some negativity towards that. There's going to be people like that. There's going to be people that are either, when I saw people like that and watching people, I was like, I wanted what they had, but there's going to be jealous people. There's going to be people that think, that this is too good to be true. There's going to be people that are stuck in their little, they're happy with their life and they're just going to be, there are those negative people, unfortunately, right? So don't surround yourself around that. Surround yourself around, I kept surrounding myself with my uplines, the people that I knew what they were earning. I knew, they always say, stay close to the fire, So like Allison said, getting on Zooms, getting on calls. I know when I get on a Zoom or a call, if I've had a bad day, like I was so excited about this Zoom tonight. I know we were been planning to do this for a while. Was it 2 weeks ago we were supposed to do it? And then my dad's been in the hospital, so we rescheduled. But, if you are really wanting this, just, if you're having a bad day, don't worry about it. Just the next day, watch some personal development, get back into it, watch a video, get on a Zoom, and go sign up a distributor and a customer. I know whenever I'm kind of feel like I'm having a slump, because, any of us can go and sign up a distributor or customer if we really try, I mean, some of these people who sign up 100 distributors, I don't know how they do that. I don't know how they do that. I don't want to do that. That's just overwhelming to me, but good for them. But, good for those people, but find out what works for you and run with it, because any of us can get to ambassador. I mean, a year ago, when I, was promoting and everything was really great in my business, I had no idea, like a year later, I'd be, set for ambassador, So anything can happen in a short amount of time, a year. Everybody's going to have different journeys, but you can still get there. It doesn't, just put in the work and you can get there.
Ain't that the truth? So I'm thinking, as you're saying, putting that work, so will you share with us a little bit, maybe like day to day, what is like your day look like? Or even, because I know when I first got started, I worked full time. So those of you guys that are still working full time, like I can already see, if you guys can see Brittany here, she's at work right now. You guys can see her little pink blanket. And I know she's at her desk at work on this Zoom. So no excuses right there.
Awesome.
When I first got started, I worked from, it was either 8 to 8 or, 8 to 10, like it was long, and then it was weekends too. So I had to try to find, like what would work for me. So it was like that 20 minutes in the morning where I could get up 20 minutes earlier, you guys, and either post on social media, connect with my leaders, and send out a couple follow-up messages. Then it was 20 minutes on my lunch break where I could go deliver wraps or go meet up with someone for, a quick 40-minute lunch or however I wanted it. And then 20 minutes at night. Mind you, I also had a 6-month-old baby. So I had a brand newborn, and I tried to just figure out when I could do this. Now, when I quit my job 6 months in to this business, I'm able to do it a lot more. So now I typically work at, 2 to 3 hours a day, but everybody's different. So depending on breaking that up, it's 1/3 myself, 1/3, my leaders, and 1/3 my team. So making sure you're pouring into yourself, filling your own cup. posting on social media consistently, sending out those follow-up messages, reaching out to new people. If you're one that's doing face-to-face, blitzing and wrap parties. When you're connecting with your leaders, hey, do you know where your team is at? Do you know what their charts are? Do you know where your chart is? Having that visual big picture of what you want in front of you at all times, you're going to get there. I can promise you that. The months where I've hit my goals are the months that I write them down and I have the chart in front of me. The months that I don't see things visually. So that's one thing for you as leaders, have your chart out in front of you. And I know it's crazy right now, you guys, but have your chart out in front of you, have your team's charts out in front of you, and know where everybody is going. Connect with them, communicate with them, but don't spend all your time into them, okay? You too have got to continue to keep pouring. You have got to continue to keep moving, keep taking action, because as you keep moving, new people are going to come in. So if you're constantly building, new people are constantly coming in, and you just get them plugged into your team page, get them plugged into their training, however you do that with your team, and you continue to work. So again, for me, like I said, mine's more like 2 to 3 hours a day. Now, every day is different though, you guys. I have a crazy 3-year-old, and so some days they're at the park, some days they're at a friend's play date, some days they're at home. And like right now, he's out playing the sprinklers now with the neighbors. So great. Now I get to be on the Zoom. So every day is different. So I try to find time to work this business, but I make sure to work it every single day to stay consistent with that. So Tanis, how about you? What is your daily schedule look like?
Honestly, I feel like I could be on my phone 24/7, and I'm going to be straight up honest with you. And I've been trying to kind of not cut back. I still love my business, and I treat it very serious, but I do realize that I can't be on my phone 24/7, because then I don't sleep, and then I get migraines, and then, I don't want my leaders to think that they need to do this 24/7 to get where I am, because you absolutely don't. There's people who do this business and they work full time, or maybe they have 2 jobs, or they're single parents, or they have, kids, or, and they can still do this. I feel like sometimes the busiest people are the people who are most successful, because they wear all these hats, right? So for me, I honestly get up in the morning. I'm actually going to start changing this, because my doctor, I go to a doctor lots because of my migraines and stuff. She actually told me, she's like, okay, first thing in the morning, you should be getting up. All of us should be getting up and starting the day on a good note. I literally get up and I turn my phone on right away. I put it on airplane mode at night. I get up and I get on my team page right away. I answer messages, from my team. I post something first thing every day, whether it's an inspirational post, or maybe my daughter, my dog, something inspiring, right? Just because people need that, right? People are watching and they need that. I feel really lost if I'm not on social media. Some days if I wait till 11 or 12, I feel like I'm just lost. So after I've done that, I go on my Instagram. I'm really trying to grow my Instagram and really help my team. I do help my team a lot. I like what Allison said. You have to focus on your own business too. I feel like as soon as you come into this business and you sign up a distributor, you are a leader. People are watching you, right? So if you're expecting, your teammate to, start getting customers and really figuring out what they need to do, you need to be doing what you should be doing, right? So, social media, being consistent. I try and get on Zooms, almost every other day with my team if they ask me. Some people like to do their own thing, and that's totally fine, but I do get on a lot of Zooms and parties. Every single day I'm either talking with potentials. I'm always very consistent on Facebook and Instagram. I do both of them. I like to do a little bit of social media every day. But again, I'm not the most organized person. I will say that right now. My husband's very organized and he's helping me. But, I am that person that I'll maybe turn off my phone for a half an hour and then I turn it back on again because I need to know if I have any messages. I grow lots of relationships with people. I do not, I know a lot of people cold message and they get lots of customers and distributors that way. For me, I grow lots of relationships with people, and sometimes it may take longer to get those rock stars, but you've grown that relationship with them. They see your excitement on social media. They see where you're going and your adventure, and they want to be a part of that. I don't just bring up the business right away with people. Normally, they just bring up the business with me. I'm a lot about attraction marketing, and I focus a lot on going through my Facebook and connecting with new people. And you would be surprised how many people are on your Facebook that you either forgot about, or you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that girl, or that girl, you know, I wonder what she's doing. So if you're connecting with people, remember how the algorithm works on Facebook. You have to be commenting, and, you know, not just liking. Commenting is so much better. And, you know, and then if you're messaging them, every day I go on your birthdays and message people, you know, be thoughtful with people. That's super important. I feel like I'm always doing parties. You know what? It's funny. Like, I feel like every single day I'm doing something with my business, like all day long. And some days I'll take like not the day off, but I'll do less. So I feel like as business owners, we can really decide, you know, my doctor said, you know, Tanis, you've worked so hard to get where you are. I'm the type of person, I want to keep going, but I can also need to know that I can enjoy, you know, you can enjoy your life, right? You don't need to be doing this 24/7 like I do. I feel like sometimes the people who are so obsessive and they want it so bad, those are the people who are like me and they just can't get off their phone. So I am on my phone a lot, but there are lots of girls and guys who have jobs and they set up buffer, and they, you know, they still plug into the team pages, and, you know, you can spend 20 minutes if that's all you have. But, you know, set up your buffer the night before, connect with your team, and do at least 1 or 2 things productive every single day, whether that's getting on a call on Monday night, the Show Me the Money call. That's always really exciting and it pumps me up. Or connecting with, you know, people you want on your team. And another thing I always do, if there is someone that you really want on your team, tell them. I will message people and I'll be like, girl, you need to join me. And I do that lots, actually. Sometimes they ignore me. Sometimes they join me a year later and they're rock stars, right? So if you have people that you really want on your team, tell them. It's actually a huge compliment, right? And don't be like, join my team, it's so much fun. Like, message them and be like, girl, I want you part of this. I want you on this journey with me. You're going to do amazing at this, right? So really pump up people's egos and make them feel special, right? Because this business is a relationship business. So, I mean, anyone can spend, I don't know how much Denise spends. I feel like she's always go, go, go with her business, right? But I feel like there's a lot of people who are really successful in this, and they do, I think Christina Watts says she spends like an hour and a half or so a day. Who knows? I think everybody totally does it differently. So find out what works for you. And if you can be successful, you know, doing it, maybe, you know, spend some time in the morning, and maybe if you work and you can get on Facebook at lunch hour and connect with your team, or, because I know there are lots of busy moms and people who work, and, you know, and then at night, maybe set up a party for your new team member, you know, and always stay connected, because you have to stay connected on the team page, and, you know, whether you have your own team page, if you want your downline to be staying connected. That's one big thing that's super important, is staying connected with your team, your upline. You know, maybe not everybody. I mean, I have a lot of girls who know what they're doing. They don't need me, but it's cool just checking in and, you know, having that support, you know, because I think we all really need that. You know, my upline, not the girl who signed me up, but the other girls I've gone to, you know, they're my friends, you know, and I see them still as my mentors, right? But, you know, having that support is huge in this business, because we're all in this together. We're all, you know, we all have the same things that are going on. And, you know, like Allison, you said earlier, there is no secret sauce to this. You know, I really think it's just, and I really know, because it works. It works. Being consistent, excited, and passionate. People are going to join you. And just being really bold. People want to join people where they're really sure of what they want and what they're doing. And, you know, I never say things ever to brag to people, but I also know if you're telling people and you're explaining, you know, how amazing this is, they're going to join your team. Or maybe they know someone. I mean, I have so many potentials that, you know, I've been working on, and it doesn't matter if they don't join right away. Like, don't worry about that, because like Allison said, most people do not join until like 8 to 13 times or whatever it is, because they're not ready, or maybe they're scared, or, you know, someone said, you know, something about it, and, you know, they don't understand, you know, people are worried about failure. They are, right? We're all scared. I have my days where I'm wondering like, oh, was that right? Or, you know, did I handle that situation okay? Because in this business, so many things happen. And if you can be really strong and you know what you want, you'll keep going forward. But if you're going to let someone, you know, who's negative towards you, that actually really fuels me when I have negative people. My brother was one of them. And, you know, he has no idea what this is about. And he is just a super minded person. And you know what? And that makes me sad because some people are just not going to get what we do. And that's okay. So don't worry about those people. Focus on the people who want more in life. Focus on the people who are dreamers. And, you know, it sounds like corny, but focus on those people who have big goals and dreams, because a lot of people are just, they're not in a good place, whether it's with their job or their family or, you know, their finances. I know I was all those things. You know, I still have my days where I struggle, you know, with my demons and stuff, you know, and we all have that. I mean, nobody's life is perfect, you know. It's great that I have this big paycheck, but I struggle with other things, right? So realize that everybody has life. There's going to be negative people, but there's also a lot of really, really good people. And those can be people that you meet on Facebook, on Instagram. I've met some of my greatest friends and people on my team through other people. You know, maybe I had one girl who I met on Instagram. She brought in her neighbor who's a total rock star, and she's a good friend of mine now. And the other girl isn't really in the business anymore, right? So this business is so great. You never know who you're going to meet. And like Allison said, like maybe your neighbor down the street, you know, maybe they really need this, but the answer is always no unless you ask, right? So that's a little bit what I'd like to share about that.
Awesome. No, thank you. Something I was thinking about too, guys, with time is that, you know, the first like 2 years of this business, I was constantly on my phone, like constantly on my phone. Like anybody on my team that's on here right now knows that I was extremely obsessive, neglective.
And it's not good. And I know that.
Yeah, it wasn't so nice to my husband. He's out there. So, and it wasn't, and I wasn't present in the moment. And that's something that I told myself of, you know, promoting up the ranks. And I was like, I do this business for my family. You know, I do this business for the freedom and the time and the finances. So I want to enjoy it as well. So I want you, if you're listening right now, to really find, you know, what works for you in this business and be more intentional with your time. Our team did this fun, like 10-minute, 20-minute challenge, you guys. And it was crazy the amount of people they could message in those 10, 20 minutes. And everyone was like, seriously, that's it? Like it was 10 minutes. And I'm like, yeah. And you've been over here saying you think you have to sit behind your computer or your phone from 8 to 5. Like you don't, you guys.
Yeah,
I have put my phone down more in the past 2 years than I have in the first 2.5 years, and we've made way more money. We've experienced way more success, and so has our team. And so I want you to realize that do this for you, but also figure out when to put your phone down, when to have it. And even for me, like at swim lessons, like that's 30 minutes, and I'm like, oh, I could sit here and follow up for 30 minutes. But I swear, you guys, my son Nixon, he looks up every 5 seconds and waves and like make sure I'm like still there almost. And so that was just a reminder to me that we're able to afford these swim lessons because of It Works. But I'm there and I want to be present in that moment, watching him, seeing him learn, seeing him grow. And so as you're experiencing the fun things with your kids, experience those fun things with your kids. When you're on date night, experience that date night. Yes. I made the mistake of not experiencing date night the first 2 years. Don't do it. I promise you, like, love this business, but also love your family. Be present for your family as well, because that's one thing that you don't want them to resent it. You don't want them to be like, get off your phone, blah, blah. But then there's weeks like last week where he was like, I'm not going to even talk to you because I know you're just going to be in the office all week. You're slammed. Like, and I was like, thank you. But he gets it now. He understands now. But it took that time and that proving that, you know what, I'm going to make this work, but I'm not going to neglect you or, you know, extended family too. So,
and that's so true, because when I do go off my phone, it's good for me. It's good for my family. It gives me a break. And then if I'm constantly go, it's not good for you. And then you burn out. I mean, we all have days where we feel burnt out. Everybody does. I mean, whether you're in this business 24/7 or your job or your life, we all burn out. We're human, right? It's just normal with all the responsibilities we have, right? But I love when I actually do listen, Allison, to what you're saying. Everything is so much better. I know my problem is I just need to do that more because I don't.
that was something that I kind of figured out early on, you guys. If you're one that's kind of like feeling burned out, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're like, I don't even know where to turn next. My biggest thing was for me is I had to turn off my phone and either pick up a personal development book and fill my cup, or go work out, or go play with my son. And I struggled for the longest time where I was like, I don't have time to play with him. I got to work my business. I got to do this. And I was like, what the hell am I saying? I do this business so that I can have more time. And I've got to be intentional with my time. So if you're picking up your phone or you're getting in front of your computer, make sure you're doing something productive. Make sure you've got a game plan. I also do something called a 6 list. If you don't do a 6 list already, do it. I write a 6 list for every night for the next day, and it's 6 things that I'm going to get done that day. It has business on there, and it also has personal. But it's 6 things guaranteed that before I put my head on that pillow, that list is going to be completed. Now, there's some days where some of that list doesn't get completed, and that's okay, but be intentional and stay focused on where you're going. Also, something too with that is, put like your income producing activities, put them at the beginning. So if it's only 2 things that you get done that day, you get those done. Okay. I wanted to share with you guys some fun things really quick that Mark shared on our Triple and Above Zoom today. Cause I'm a red. So if you know the color personalities, I'm a red, I'm a numbers girl, like show me the money. And I'm like all ears. So when I heard this today, and those of you guys are laughing, too, but I am yellow and I'm blue after 5 when I'm done being pregnant. So I'll tell you about these fun statistics that you guys, it like blew my mind. I don't know about you, Tanis, and any other Triple and Above that's on here, you heard this too. But Mark was saying that if everybody who signed up just that $9.99 promotion, you guys, got their first 4 customers, Mark, this is just first 4 customers, not even residual, not even anything else, you guys. Mark would pay out $84 million in the month of July. Say what? Like, are you kidding me? If everyone would just get their first 2, it'd be 36 million. Like, I can't even wrap my brain around that. Like, that's so much money. And thinking about how much that's being paid out just by helping our teams get started. Like, holy cow, our company is amazing. And if you have not wrapped your brain around that yet, you need to wrap your brain around what we have our hands on, you guys. Mark was saying, isn't it interesting that this $9.99 business builder kit restored so much confidence and belief in every single one of you guys on the Zoom right now?
Everybody really needed this. Like,
right?
we needed this. Like,
exactly.
There's so many girls on my team. Like, everybody needed this. Like, I was like, first of all, I was like, oh my God, what's going on, right? But we needed this. There were girls I knew who, even if you sign up 1 or 2 people, be proud of yourself. Pour into those people. Like I said, Allison, like, we know some of those people who sign up 100 plus people. Like, that's not going to happen for me. That's not going to happen for me, right? But I'm happy for those people that can do that. But focus on, hey, that one person that you maybe signed up could be your next double diamond or your next diamond. You never know, right? So instead of just signing people up just for, just to get another person in, right? But, I love that. Our company is unreal. Like, I was getting goosebumps listening to Mark, it's crazy what we have our hands on, and nobody in the industry is growing like our company. We have, not only do we have the products and the compensation, we have the culture, and we're part of a family. There's a lot of companies out there who don't know they don't know their leaders. Mark went on and he was saying hi to everybody and hey, and was talking to everybody like on the Zoom, and it makes you feel really special to be part of something like that, right? You're not just some person making the money, right? So when you're really involved and you're part of the team and you're part of getting to One Team One missions and events. Like, I was getting to all those when I joined, and maybe you can't get to conference. I understand that, but watch. I know they didn't have pay-per-view this time for Green Carpet, but get on a pay-per-view and watch Zoom videos. Like, there's so much you can find on YouTube. Whether you want to listen to any top earners. I mean, there's anyone, whoever your favorite is. Follow those people and get the vision from those people. I still follow a lot of top people, and to me, it's crazy because I'm one of those top people now too. And I'm not saying that it's weird to me because I went to conference and I watched these people up on stage, and they're just normal people. Like, I'm just a normal person that just, decided I really needed this and really got to work. That's the only difference between Allison and I and everybody else. There's no difference between us. We're all just normal, awesome people. We're awesome.
The same exact thing you do as a distributor as you do at Presidential Diamond. And that's one thing that I always was like, well, what do they do differently? What do they do differently? It's just they're more consistent. They've talked to more people and they've heard more no's, you guys. And going along with like that restoring such confidence and belief, Mark was saying, you talk to more chickenless people with this $9.99 promotion than you probably have the entire time you've been in this business. And I was like, yep. That's me. And it was so true, you know, and he said, there's no difference between this $9.99 kit and this $99 kit. And the $99 kit, it's, you just had a little bit more confidence. You just had a little bit more belief. You just had a little bit more, well, it's only $10. I might as well ask them. So Mark was saying on there, asking, you know, keep coaching your own belief, because if you took pride in this $99 kit that you took in this $9.99 kit, that you would have had all these people already. And that was such a big aha moment to me where I was like, oh my gosh, I have not asked enough chickenless people. I have not asked enough people I don't know. I have just been so comfortable in my little leads list, you know, adding the people. I'm like, okay, I think they'd be good at this. But that $9.99 was like, hell, it's $10. What are they going to say? No, great, move on. So, you know, it took that $9.99 kit to remind us what we have our hands on. It took $10 to remind us why we're doing this, where we're going, and gaining that such belief and confidence that we can move forward. Now that we've, you know, planted the seed, we've watered it, we've weeded it out, and it finally grew, now it's up to us to launch. It is up to us to take action. It's up to us to grow these promotions. So we have all the tools, you guys. It's time to develop people and take them from point A to point B. So remember that. You know, you got them in the system, but don't leave them. Do not leave them. It is your job to give them the tools, show them the resources they have, but then you keep working. A couple tips that Mark was saying is, if your team wants a daily power hour, then that be your time to work, and you schedule out that daily power hour with them within your smaller teams. Share your story. Mark said, share your story with every one of your new distributors. Share it with every one of them. Share it on your team page, and get them to an online party weekly. Get them in front of people. Get them around the community. Get them feeling like what we are a part of. And that's something that I wish I would have done early on, you guys. I wish early on that somebody would have been like, hey, get to an event or get to a party, because that's where they're going to see more people. They're going to see more stories, and they're going to feel more of the success. 3 tips really quick that I want to share with you guys, since most of you guys are leaders or have been in a while, is Mark said 3 steps for our new distributors, which we just talked about on our new distributor Zoom from 6 to 7, is number 1, making sure people have an auto ship on or they're at least commission qualified. Okay. You do not want somebody to sign 2 customers and you don't get that fast start bonus, right? So you have got to get that auto ship set up so you get your fast start, and then those of you diamonds and above, you get your cab. Along with that auto ship and being commission qualified is their training. Get them started, whether you're using a training academy on the eSuite or you're using a training, new distributor training page. Like I have, our team has one. I think you do, Tanis, too. But new distributor training page, get them plugged into something. Get them started, get them moving. And then box 2, he was saying, is get your 4 customers. And number 3 is getting them to an event. Get them to an event. Get them around people. I don't know about you guys, but 4.5 years in this business, events never get old. They are never, you hear something new every time. You connect with somebody new every single time. So I don't care if you've been in this business a year, 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years, get to an event, get to every event possible near you, and bring your guests and bring your new distributors with you, because that is where they're going to see the bigger picture. That is where they're going to connect. That is where they may have their aha moment. Something like the $9.99 promotion that brought them in, they felt more confidence, right? They experienced that belief of like, okay, maybe I can do this with her. So we've got all the fundamentals, you guys. And that's something that I love, that, I don't know about you, Tanis, that I really grabbed from the Zoom today, is that we literally, they have dumbed down, I guess I should say, simplified every area of this business for us. I don't know about you guys, but our eSuite, our training academy, you know, everything possible, even to our July coaching videos from Cami, everything, you guys, we have everything that we possibly need. And you as a leader, it's your job to grab hold of that and run. It's your job to lead from the front. It is your job to continue working and leading by example. Just because you put people in the system, that's not where the money comes in. Right? We know that we've got to work with them. We've got to show them. We've got to teach them. Because when we all first got started, we were a deer in the headlights too. We didn't know what are we supposed to do now? what now, right? That was one thing where I was just like, I don't know, but I tried this route and it worked. You should try it. That's literally all I said. It's not hard. The only reason this business is hard is you make it hard. You make this business hard. So keep it simplified, do the steps to success, work within your fundamentals, and write down what you want and go after that. Really quick. I was going to say one more thing that he added in there, and I don't know where I put it, but just believe in yourself. Honestly, believe in yourself. If you're thinking right now that like, well, maybe I could go diamond this month, or maybe I could go double diamond this month, you can. You totally can. Whether you've signed one new distributor or 50 new distributors, it is up to you to put your plan into action and take action. Be intentional with your time. You guys, I've already been hearing like they've got already stuff coming out this next week and the week after. Be ready. Those of you guys that signed people during this $9.99 promotion, you were ready. And that's one thing that I told people that didn't sign people. I said, how much of a harvest have you done these past couple months? How much of a harvest have you done leading up to this $9.99 promotion? Those of you guys that reap the benefits and experience success with this $9.99 promotion, you probably put a lot of harvest and a lot of work in. And for me, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, finally, the people that have put so much harvest, so much watering, so much weeding, so much, oh my God, is this flower ever going to sprout? Finally did, right? So keep moving and working, because when the next thing comes out from corporate, you want to be ready. You don't ever want to sit there and be like, I wish I would have signed somebody during that promotion. I wish I would have promoted with that bonus. I wish I would have signed that customer. I can tell you right now that Mark and Mike and Pam and Cammie, they have something up their sleeve for this month. After this $59 is up, they have something up their sleeve for August. You want to be ready. So get your game plan, get your team on board, know your promotion, know where you're going, and I can promise you that you're going to experience and feel success if you're ready.
I love that. That's awesome. And you know what? Like, they want us to succeed, obviously. They want us to do well, you know? He was talking about all the up-and-coming leaders, you know? There's always new leaders coming about, you know? So it's super exciting what we have, but we just need to, you know, decide what we want and go after it. And there's so many people who are about to promote. It's crazy, you know? Anyone can promote this month. Anyone, you know? And just getting those distributors to see the vision. The people who catch the vision are the ones who are going to do really well. Don't worry if some people might not get it right away, you know, still be there to help them, but focus on those people who you know really need this and really want this, right? Because, you know, your time is valuable. You know, you don't want to be on your phone 24/7. And, you know, if you're going to do power hours or get on Zooms and, you know, whatever you need to do and your personal development, just make sure that you're not like wasting time scrolling through Facebook. We all do that, right? We all do that, right? And it's pointless, right? So make sure that you're doing income producing activities, teach your team the same, and always lead from the front. You know, you're not a manager, you're not the boss, you're not telling people what to do. I was telling people about the Zoom tonight in group chats and stuff that I'm in. I was saying to them, you don't have to do any of these things, but it's all available to you. And I don't want to overwhelm people, because there are going to be people who are overwhelmed. And I understand that, because there's so many new people. So we want to make sure that we have everything for them, but we don't want to scare them off, right? So I don't know. I'm kind of seeing everybody's personalities and kind of seeing where I need to be, because there are those go-getters. I've had people messaging me, okay, like, what do I need to do? And then I have people who are just kind of like, oh, I'm waiting for my kid. And, you know, they're kind of standoffish and they don't really know what they want, right? But talk about the importance of getting those 4 customers. Of course, the fast starts and everything, that's great. But if you tell them what's in it for them, they're getting $100 US shopping spree. That's exciting. You know, that's their first goal. And when they start achieving those little mini goals, it adds up, you know, to bigger things. So.
Yeah. And really quick, you know, when people start to, you guys, that one customer changes the game. Think about that. Even Mark said that on our Zoom this morning. When that new distributor signs one customer, the belief grows, the confidence grows, and they start to think, if I got one, I can get another. So focus on, hey, let's get your first customer in the system. Guess what? You're only 3 customers away. Oh my gosh, you're only 2 customers away. Continue cheering them on, giving them recognition, giving them shout outs, and being by their side, because you should be there those first 4 customers. After that, they start to be able to do it themselves. Yeah. So I'm excited though, Tanis. I'm glad we did this tonight. I know we covered distributors and we covered with kind of veterans leadership. I know it was a lot to take in, but Tanis is recording this, you guys, and just know that again, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. This month is going to be a huge month, and we want you to see you promote and see your teams promote. And I'm excited. I'm excited.
And
Do you have anything else that you want to
you
add?
should all be thinking about that promotion. I mean, maybe you just have a couple distributors, or don't think of it, I'm just this rank, or I'm not there yet. I know a girl, I wanted to shout her out the other day, and she's like, oh, I'm embarrassed. I'm like, why? Don't be embarrassed. She just smiled at me. Don't be embarrassed. Like, you need to be excited about what you've achieved. Who cares if Sally promoted to Ambassador Diamond and, you're just getting your first couple of distributors? Who cares? Don't worry about stuff like that, because your journey and Sally's journey is totally different. Focus on you. If you want to go executive this month or diamond this month. And I know a lot of girls who might not be huge enrollers, but they're really good at helping their team, Myself, I can bring people in and I like to help my team, but focus on what your strengths are. If you don't know what your strengths are, get help from your leader and find out what your strengths are. I mean, I have a lot of really great leaders who might not bring in tons of distributors. And then I know some people who used to bring in tons of distributors, and maybe they're not in the business anymore because they brought in all those distributors and then didn't even talk to them. That happens too. So I like to have a duplicatable system. I'm not one of those people who brings in, like I said, 100 people a month. I mean, good for those people, but that's not me. Focus on where you can help everybody. And, if you need this person at that place, or you really want to help that person, get parties going, get Zooms going, see where you can help that leader. Because a lot of times people are just stuck and they don't know what to do, and that's why I think getting on Zooms and learning from other people, like that, we're all just normal. Like we all go through the same things. Like I'll have a bad day and I'll be like, and I'll be all down in the dumps. And then I'll be like, okay, wait, it's me. If I start changing my outlook and I'm positive and I put out there, I can go sign a customer or distributor. I can have a good day, right? So just focus on your energy and what you really want in your business, and everything can turn around. Like if you're going through a hard time, everything can turn around tomorrow. It really can, like what Allison said, whenever her paychecks maybe weren't what she wanted, she just changed what she was doing and her belief, So I believe in this business so much, this company, and I want it for everybody. So just decide what you really want, take action, and ask for help, and be coachable, and ask, all those newbies, maybe they're not replying to you because they're overwhelmed. I feel like some of them might be a little overwhelmed right now, and that's okay, right? Maybe they're just learning and, like they're a really green personality and they need to know about everything, right? So just be there for them, be their friend, and say that you're there for them, and so that they know that they have that support. Don't just sign people up and be like, see ya, So that was really fun though tonight. We should do this often.
Yes, we totally should. That's all I have. I think that's all I have, Janice.
Yeah, I recorded it. I'll have it up as soon as I get it all up. I'll do it tonight for sure.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, guys, so much. Thanks for being on. Appreciate you.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Denise.